Hello, everybody. Good morning and good day and good evening wherever you are. A warm welcome from Berlin. Today we're going to talk about the new releases. So this is part of a new series. We're concentrating on the version 4.5 release, which has recently been released. And this will be a series, so multiple instances of smaller videos. And today we are going to focus on what has happened within the version 4.3, 4.4 and 4.5. And for that we do have the two product managers here, Sussman and James Moore. And the larger series will happen around all these topics that we have had in an internal enablement. And out of this internal enablement we are going to carve out a number of videos which are presented in this series. So today we are going to focus on what has happened between version 4.3, which was released last December, 4.4 January this year, and 4.5 a little later. Today we are on 4.5.1, so we do have quite a number of releases ongoing. This is the documentation. In each of those releases we do have a what's new section, which is linked here. So use this to get updated on what is available in each of those new releases which are coming. And of course we are putting all those videos on the AIOps Explained series into the YouTube channel that we do have within IBM Support TV, which is now IBM Helps. And here we do have, for example, videos around how to install a Cloud Pak using Nix GitHub scripts, which is a nice overview into how to get a fully demo system within just a couple of hours, including demo data, of course. So very interesting to see. And if you're an existing Netcool customer, having installed Netcool, Omnibus, Impact and all these kind of things, or are already on the newer bundle Netcool Operations Insight, then this video may be of interest for you, because this introduces how to connect an AIOps installation with a Netcool installation. So we're talking about connectors, how to connect an object server to the new AIOps Cloud Pak, and how to connect an Impact server, how to redirect probes and all these kind of things. This is included in this, and of course we do have lots more. But now we're going to hand over to Gene and James. Over to you.
Okay. Hey everyone. As Andrew said, we're going to dive deeper into what's new in 4.5. As a bit of what's new and also what's recently new, we're also going to touch on 4.3 and 4.4. We didn't have a larger enablement session for 4.4, so we want to just make sure all of the larger themes are fresh in everyone's mind as they sort of see what is new within this release. I'll cover 4.3 and 4.4. James will pick up 4.5. But just as a bit of recent history, recent review, going into 4.3 and 4.4, I'll run through some of the highlights quickly to set the stage. We began to introduce custom dashboard toolkits. This is a way to surface views from apps within the dashboards and reports. So if there is an alternate report that they put out, maybe an executive view, they're able to put in some of the UI elements from that for apps within those views in order to report up the data. This is furthered in the next releases with Cognos, with viewing the estate resources in geographical map. Matt will cover this in depth. We're able to do here is put your topological dependency map in a geospatial view. This enables to see things and drive use cases that they couldn't do without it. So the classic telco managing fiber, there's a fiber cut, helps you locate where that's happening much more quickly, deploy your resources correctly, and get to an answer fast to save time and money. We could also drive use cases that may not have existed, right? So if you have messy data and consistent data, but enough commonality to put together topological mapping and then associated on this geographical view, you'll be able to start seeing some of that signal from noise and see that, well, if something's happening in a certain area, there could be a problem. So a higher level way of getting at possible probable cause. Alert, custom events and alerts, renaming incidents. This is a way to give clients more of a way to get the data that they want out of the system to use the views in the way that they want for their working style. So if things aren't default, they'll be able to pull in that data, whether through a policy or something within the system that's just not by default, or rename incidents in a way that makes more sense for their organization. Log anomaly golden signal, trying to get more value from the log anomaly detection, the log data. Often at a granular level, it doesn't make much sense, but when you look at the most important parts, you can make much more sense of the data. It becomes much more useful, and you can associate with other data on hand, like event and alert data. Servicing the information in ways that are important to teams, so email-based instant notification, policies to help control custom alerts, so to make sure we're not introducing more noise into their systems, making sure that our integrations are as robust as possible, continuing there with Datadog and SDK for ticketing systems, so that if we don't have that bi-directional integration like we have with ServiceNow, the appropriate teams who have the capabilities can bring that in. And then always furthering on our scale and our ability to further deployments. So that was in 4.3. James, I'll pass it to you if you want to talk through 4.5.
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll cover this a lot more in depth. So with the release that just happened in March, you can see some continued themes here around improving the user experience, the signal from noise, continuously evolving the ecosystem and the enterprise readiness. What you'll see, some highlights for a little bit more in depth, and then there'll be a demo here as well. You'll see how we're starting to leverage Cognos Analytics to be used with Cloud Pak for AIOps. To build custom dashboards. There have been different ways we've approached this. If you're familiar with the ways we've approached this in the past, a lot of our customers that are incumbent take the information we have, use the views that we've provided them, but then take that data and put it into ways that are more meaningful to the different groups that are more audience specific. And so we needed a more modernized way to do that. That's starting now with this and getting enhanced with this release. And that will continue, as I mentioned before. The visualizing geographically, geospatial manner, all the topology capabilities that we have, which are very meaningful and valuable in and of themselves, viewed in an even more meaningful way when you start to see it in a geographically relevant dynamic map. And a lot of the scenarios that most of your customers will be tackling with our cohesive set of capabilities can really be taken to another level with this. And it's really cool. It shows well. We'll show you some examples of that. Is that this was introduced in the previous release, set of releases. We're going to continue to enhance it, but we wanted to reiterate it because we think it does really carry over very well and shows very well. It has a lot of buyer appeal as well as a lot of pragmatic everyday use appeal as well. There's ways that we've improved how you can visualize the resources that are represented in topology, and they're just really relatively minor enhancements that we made to. There was a lot of work that went into it, but there's, it's one of those things that's subtle but very impactful. You can start to have conditions reflected in the icons that reflect the resources that people need to understand, and have that next level understanding of where you're going from that just reacting viscerally to responding with intelligence, and having that visually represented based on conditions and the relationship of different resources is very important. There's enhancements we've done to continue to do to the right-click actions that you can take right from the alert views. And that's something that a lot of our customers have gotten used to, that have been around for a while, and that new customers, greenfield opportunities, would just expect, right? And so there's some things there that we want to see improved in the overall experience. Signal from noise improvements here. You'll see there'll be some, Warren will go through some of the improvements we've made to apply golden signals to log anomalies, to the log data that can come in. And we want to see that carry forward an analysis across the board with all the different data types. Even if your customer is not ready for that differentiator around understanding where the anomalous behavior is in logs and being able to pull out useful information in a very targeted, very intelligent way with logs. We want them to get there, but it's important to learn about it and know how the tool can approach this today, and how it gives you an indicator how we might be expanding this capability as well. Ongoing ecosystem and enterprise readiness enhancements. You'll hear more about what we're able to deploy in the spirit of expanding our market presence. Deploy an AWS marketplace that could be very meaningful to you as account teams. So there'll be some more information on that. And then improving how we interoperate with our own tools, of course. Even though we can take in data from anywhere, that it's a really good experience in that and there's no friction there to adopt all the tools together. And there's, as I mentioned, there's a lot of improvements we've made to scale with each release. There was an improvement of performance metric KPIs, as you can see there, to 3.1 million. And then our standing event count is at 200,000 now. If you've been following along, that is now higher than a lot of what our customers have today deployed in their NetCooled environments. So we're starting to see net benefits and net gains in performance and scalability in different areas, and that will continue. So we want to continue to innovate. At the same time, we want to make sure that there is no friction, or as little as we can technically viably deal with, limited friction to get people up and running so they can get up and talk about it.
Thank you. That was a fantastic demonstration of what we have in the 4.3 up to 4.5 releases. And with that, we're going to close this video of today. So thank you very much for participating and spending your time with us. Bye.